I want to welcome all our listeners in, whether you're listening on YouTube or Anchor, Spotify, whatever. I want to welcome you all in. We got something to talk about. So I'm here with Jaren, like always,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
we got something to debate today. Spencer Torkelson, after an interview in his game earlier this week, was asked how he feels so far in his development, and he said he's right where he needs to be. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think that is some fucking bullshit. Say the least. But
Oh God.
Jaren, what do you think about this? Like Torkelson doesn't see any problem with his game right now. He thinks he's, the generational hitter that we were getting
Oh
at the
yeah.
number one pick is right where he needs to be, hitting 220, and he's not even on pace for 30 home runs this season.
Nope. I mean, this was the guy that came in. He was supposed to be the guy, the generational hitter, the guy that would hit 40 plus homers for your team. We'll start
And now he's the
right away.
guy that strikes out 10 times a week.
That, I mean, pop-ups, definitely not where he's supposed to be. It's upsetting. And, I feel like we rip on him a lot. I feel like there's at least a couple occasions, but we've also given him his credit where it was due. I think it's
We're
just
too quick to forgive.
We are, but because it doesn't take much for Tigers fans to just feel something, because it's been so long where just misery and pain, and then you see any glimmer of hope, you're like, oh my gosh, he's back. But the dude, at this point, he's now becoming infuriating because it's like he'll show signs of something, one series, couple days, and like, okay, he's reached a turning point. And then the next series, he'll go like 0 for 12 with like 5 strikeouts, weak contact, and you're just like, oh my god, what are you doing? And it's just frustrating. I think at this point,
Okay, but the MLB draft is right around the corner. Now,
it
I
is.
haven't done too much digging because MLB prospects, anyways, they're all kind of random to me. Some of them come out of high school, some come out of college.
Mhm.
Some can come from overseas. You look at like Otani, for example. So you just it's too hard for me to track prospects in baseball. But
Mhm.
like, would it be crazy to be like the Detroit Tigers could select a first baseman and like we wouldn't even think anything of it? Like, is that crazy for me to say? Because personally, you need to see something from Torque, but those guys take a couple years in the farm system. In a couple years, we could be ready to throw this guy out the door.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's the problem because you look at the minor league system we have now. I mean, I don't know that we really have anybody super ready for first. I think our plan was to put our chips in this guy. I mean, there's always room for free agents, but I think in the farm system, uh, we don't really have a deep position at first base. So I wouldn't say it's too crazy to say they would draft it. Now, probably not draft it early, but um, no, it's not crazy. I
So
mean,
if the best prospect is a first baseman when we come up in the first round, you would pass. You wouldn't just be like best talent available first baseman. Torque, you better
mm,
fucking do something.
yeah, probably. And here's why I say that. I mean, I know we could talk a lot of grief, and rightfully so. The numbers do tell an entire story, but
But no,
at the
hear me out though, real quick, actually,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
because first baseman, we've seen this with Miguel Cabrera even at some point in his career. I would 100% do this. One, we truthfully don't know what Torque is going to end up being.
Mhm,
Maybe, I mean, you could expect improvements. Torque moves well. If you draft a first baseman and he is supposed to be he is the best player available widely across the board, I'm selecting him because we've seen with Miguel Cabrera and other players, they are capable of moving over to third base. They're That's like a very capable thing. We're not deep at third base either. We're not deep in the infield at all. I just don't
sure.
see the drop off. So I just wanted to say I am 100% drafting first base if that's what the draft board is calling me to do.
Mhm.
Because then you have that backup plan.
Well, I think it just depends on your situation. I can't read into what it is, but who are you gonna go with? Like, are you gonna use Colt Keith in your future at third? I know you can move infielders around, but what is
Especially a
Baez
guy like
doing?
Colt Keith. I
Yeah,
know they complain about his fielding, but if you're complaining about his fielding, then if you're complaining about it at third, you're gonna complain about it at second.
I
You're gonna
mean,
complain
look.
about it at short. I don't know what to tell you. But the way that Colt Keith is built, anyways,
Mhm.
he's built to be able to be a second baseman or shortstop. He just has to develop that part in his game, and that's the biggest flaw he has right now. He needs to develop the defense side. He needs to
Mm,
move better. That's what they're saying. I'm
yeah.
not gonna sit here and act like I just sit and watch the
Colby.
Triple A, but I'm just telling y'all what people are saying.
Yeah.
As far as like the reporters, he needs to get better on defense, which was my
Mm,
beef when I saw him DHing the one day. I'm like, bro, if he needs help on defense, he should be out in the field every day of the week. Never should I see him in a DH.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I get
but
you.
no, you also have like Jace Young,
Yeah.
and then what's the other dude? Is it Peyton or something?
Peyton.
Peyton.
Mm,
Oh, I think we took him second round last year. I can't think of his name though.
I
But
can't either.
I
Off
think
his
he's
name.
from. I think he came from Oklahoma, maybe Texas A&M. But anyways, we had
Yeah.
another shortstop that we drafted last year,
Yeah. I know who you're talking
and
about.
Jace Young. I'm trying to. He's a
He's in the White
Alf.
Cats right now, I believe, isn't
Yeah, I seen him going off hitting a bunch of doubles
he? Yeah.
recently. But I'm trying to think of what position he plays in the field because I always lose track of that. They move around so much after college. They kind of like experiment where they best fit in AAA.
Yeah.
But so I don't quite remember. But you have some talented infielders coming up, and honestly, I see the position thing not much as a flaw because I feel like
Yeah.
people can transition into new positions. So if the best player available is a first baseman, well, now we got a backup plan in Torque, as well as I can always move these guys to the corner. And I know that makes me feel more comfortable because I know Torque and the way that he's built, he's capable of playing in the corner. If fucking Jonathan Scope can
Uh,
play third base, I know Torque can play third base
I don't
if we
know if he
needed to.
can.
I like Torque at first because he's good at scooping, but if not, I'm cool with putting him at third if I
You
have
know,
to.
I'd
If Miguel
argue.
Cabrera could do it, he can do it.
Well, Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera was not the most athletic dude ever at any
That's
point in his career,
true. That's
besides
true.
his like rookie year when he was playing shortstop.
But I think Miguel Cabrera and Spencer Torkelson, I can't compare them defensively. I've seen Spencer Torkelson, and it's his defense. I mean, it can be questionable at times, and I don't know. I know they were working with him at third base, so that was originally the plan. So it's not like it's not completely far fetched to say he can't move back there. I just
Nicholas
don't.
Castellanos could become a right fielder, bro.
I know we
Dude,
got Zach
I'm
Short from
telling
somewhere.
you, Torque could become a third baseman if you absolutely needed it. No, will he become a Gold Glover third baseman? No, but will it make up for Nick Matan having come up and play? Yes. So like, and if
Okay,
dude
I mean, yeah,
isn't good enough by then to, because this is a scenario where the first baseman isn't replacing Torque, which means Torque started playing better baseball, which means Torque is hitting 235 with 30 some home runs, 30 plus home runs a year.
that's true.
That is worth maybe
Well,
I don't even know an air a month. I don't know. I'm
well,
just
let me say
making
this. Let
things
me
up.
say this. Um, we could move Torque, let's just say, to third, and I know your backup plan draft a first baseman, but let's just say, for sake of argument, that not doesn't do well in the minors because Torkelson was supposed to be this one of a generation type players. Let's just say we get a guy, it doesn't pan out too well. Moving a guy to first is not as easy as moving him around, let's say
Well,
second,
if that
third,
guy
or
doesn't pan out, bro, I'm not really worried. I'm just keeping Torque. But
Mhm.
but then at that point, you're saying that with any position. We're just talking about taking best prospects. So if the best prospect's a right fielder doesn't pan out, you have the same scenario.
I know, but I don't think the best prospects are first baseman because I think we pick third. It'll
Pick
probably
third.
be that one. I don't know if he's an outfielder. It's one of the LSU kid. It's not the pitcher. I don't know if he's an infielder or outfielder.
Watch this. Big board, MLB. I got a
There
quick
we
way to
go.
solve
There we
this.
go. There we go.
And your big board for the MLB has predicting all 30 teams approach to the 2023 MLB draft. That's a pitcher. I swear to God, if you're talking about this LSU pitcher, I am going to flip shit.
Dude, we don't need it. And the problem is I think the dude's really good, but it scares me. You get a guy that throws that fast. They're just so prone to blowing their arm out and they're so useless as a prospect. I mean, we took a one over. Was Casey my first overall as well?
Casey Mize was first overall for his fucking knuckleball, which I swear, I,
His yeah,
I don't. That's not even his best pitch
his splitter, yeah.
anymore.
His
A
splitters.
splitter, that's what it was.
I mean, I guess to be fair, when they drafted him, there was the worry that his arm slot and the way he pitched had Tommy John written all over it, and lo and behold, he had Tommy John surgery.
So this is telling me we want fucking Virginia catcher Kyle Teal. The safest prediction. I'm
Safest.
sorry, but when is a catch? Okay, name me one good hitting catcher right now. Catchers are never good at hitting. I swear the only ever good catcher at hitting was, I don't even think this was his name,
Well,
the Minnesota Twins catcher. What
yeah,
was his name?
There's Maurer,
Okay,
Buster,
was it Joey Mauer?
yeah,
Okay, so I did have the right name in my head.
Joe
All right.
Mauer, Joe Mauer.
Yeah, Joe Mauer, whatever.
Buster Posey is a good one.
Posey was, yeah. But even
Southie,
those guys played so long ago. Like, we can't even name a current day catcher that can hit.
Jonah Heim's pretty good at Texas.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, Jonah Heim for Texas. He's solid.
Wait,
Wait,
is that fat dude for Toronto? Is he a catcher? You know who I'm talking
Kirk?
about? The very yeah, is he a catcher?
I don't. I think. Yeah, I believe he is. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing this year though.
Oh,
I haven't
I
really heard
know
his
last
name
year
yet.
he went off, but going back to the debate, is
There's a few.
Torkelson bad? No, it's fine. But no, for real,
Maybe.
when is it enough? Like, I need to know. I wish we had I guess we have a comment section over on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, let
Yeah.
me know, what is the line? Like, when are you guys officially like, okay, like, is it, if Torque doesn't improve by the end of this year, you're done with him? Or is it like, what is the line for you and Torque? When does enough become enough? Because
Um.
for me, I have already jumped ship. I have lowered the rafts, as Mike Valeni said earlier this week, talking about the Tigers. I have lowered the rafts, and I got in it. They didn't
Okay.
cut the rope yet. They didn't, untie the raft yet. I said I forgot my phone in the cabins. I'll be right back. And right now I'm still looking for my cell phone. So I haven't completely left.
Okay.
But I was really about to leave, and then all of a sudden he decided he wanted a home run. And
2 times.
and then I was like, "Oh shit. Let me just stay and watch a little bit longer."
Exactly,
Um
but that's what he's been doing, and I think the problem with it is he's been inconsistent to the point where he showed, like I've said, he's shown good things and he's shown bad things. The problem is, at this point, you're in year two. You're gonna get more patience in year one, right? Maybe
At
he
this
wasn't ready.
point, I have reached the point. The
Me
kid's a
too.
bust. He's
I
not
was
gonna
pretty patient.
he's not gonna be what he should have been. So by that standard for where he was drafted, to me he is a bust.
I
But
think
as
it's
far as me jumping ship on where he like, he still has a spot on this team, I haven't jumped that ship yet. That's the ship I'm borderline on right now. Because you can't have a dude hitting 220, 25 home runs. It's just not productive enough for me.
Mhm. I,
I mean,
I
that
think
is ninth hitter type shit.
yeah, I think it's. I mean, I think for me, it's unfair to say, "Oh, he's a bust" right now. But it's like you're leaning towards that, right? Because, year two, this was supposed to be a guy that's supposed to start day one. You draft a guy out of college because he's going to be more pro ready than a guy, let's say, that's drafted out of high school that has to go through development and has to develop that swing. This is a guy that had that swing developed in college. It worked for him. It worked for him at most of the other levels he played at, high school, college. I mean, he was a hitter, and that is why so many teams, it doesn't matter who it was, anybody's going to draft him at one. For me, though,
That's the one reason I don't get too mad about the pick, is the fact that I know everybody was gonna draft him at one.
exactly.
It's just sucks that we were the team that had to draft him at one.
I just
That
think he needs
makes
to
sense.
show a month, and he's got some time left this year, but it doesn't look like it's changing. But I need to see something by the end of this year that shows like, okay, I'm ready to do it. And maybe even it's the off season of changing something. Just change something about your swing, change something about your mechanics. You know, show me consistency
I would
because
be happy with better plate discipline.
yeah, I think he's sometimes over disciplined even too to a fault.
Sometimes he's over disciplined, and then
Hmm.
sometimes once he gets
Yeah,
in a drought, then he just
starts
gets
flailing.
no discipline. He starts
Yes.
looking like Javier Baez, or should
Yeah.
I say Jarvis Baez?
What?
That's what I think. That's what 97.1 calls someone. There's two versions of Javi Baez. There's Javi Baez, which is ballin' Baez, and then there's Jarvis,
Charles.
which is freaking strikeout Baez. But but no, like he like gets under pressure and gets in his head and then he flares at anything, but then other times he's too protective where he doesn't get into protect mode. He's
Mhm.
just like, this is my strike zone and this is what I'm swinging at. He needs to learn protect mode
Yeah,
better.
and I'll say
But
this too. When Green was playing with him, and he was, I think, I don't know what
which
spot.
I think will also help getting better bats in the lineup for him.
Yeah, like because I remember saying, okay, Torkelson's making strides. He was hitting, one hit every night at least, 2 for 4, 1 for 4, 2 for 4. The home run power wasn't there like it has been in some of the recent series, but he was being more consistent about hitting, and it was enough for me to say, okay, he's making improvements, and I think it's fair to say he's improved from last year to this year. It's very slim, but I think there's some improvement there. Um, but
That is why though I think it's fair for me to call him a bust because he shouldn't need Riley Green, just like Riley Green doesn't need him. Riley Green balls
mhm,
whether they're playing or like those guys are playing good or not. That's the kind of guy Torque was supposed to be. Torque was supposed to be the guy that elevates anyone, not someone who needs someone to elevate him. And that's why I think it's fair for me to say that he's underperforming
that's
way
true.
like by a lot. And I think it's fair to say, as of now, he is a bust. I mean, will he randomly, you know, like come out in 2024 and just ball out and prove me wrong? It's a possibility. I doubt it, but it's a
I mean, I'll
possibility.
I'll hold the right to I'll hold the bust. I'll hold that. But I'm very on the edge. I hate to just bash the guy because the whole team is a mess right now. But
I'm a bash a dude who can't hold accountability.
yeah, I mean,
Be
if he,
accountable and I won't bash
that's
you.
that's also true. I mean, if he did say that word, and to be fair, that's completely false. I mean, that's not where he should be. I mean, maybe it's a mental thing with him. I don't know. He's just trying to tell himself like, "Oh, I am," so he's not overwhelming himself. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's an arrogance thing.
he just needs to let go. He needs to be
It's It's
himself.
a like I don't want people to like people are ripping on my game and I don't want them to think that I'm down on myself, like kind of arrogance thing, if you know what I'm trying to say. But
We'll never know, but the whole team's a mess. I mean, he's just a part of what our frustrations are, I guess.
for sure, I do want to know though what everyone on YouTube or even Spotify, they might have somewhere for you guys comment. I'm not quite sure, but if they do, let us know what you guys think about Torque. Is he a bust? Is he not? What do you guys think the Tigers should be doing coming up into this MLB draft? And that being said, thank you guys for tuning in.